So I'm gonna rant a bit. Okay, in the Caribbean and like other English-speaking countries, we say plantain, and I notice in the U.S. a lot of people say plantains.
They're like a tomorrow or next week Leanne's problem, not a today Leanne's problem.
Hi, Mitch.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Did you see your Instagram story last week? Your trip.
It was great. It was really, really awesome. Really fun. It was eye-opening. It was enlightening. I proposed to Jen. She said yes. Yeah, that was pretty much the highlight.
How's this week going for you?
I'm working on our capstone projects.
We started our capstones, which is really exciting and terrifying because I thought it was going to be real quick, like 2 weeks, and I was like, I'll be good to go. But then I figured out that I have to create a database and write my own API, which is all exciting, but terrifying. So we need to use at least 3 screens. We need to call from an external source, get our data from an external source, use a table view or a collection view, and we have to incorporate 3 things that we didn't learn from class. So, yeah, or just like directly in class.
It's like peeling an onion. The more you learn, the more you cry.
Not too bad. I think I started out strong, and then it's like a slow decline. I don't know. Maybe it's lack of sleep in the middle of the week and like prepping for the potluck, things like that. But I think maybe not after today, because I have to prepare for lightning talks tomorrow. Probably next week. Hopefully, pick back up strong again.
I'm stuck on something right now, but I'm still going. Just parsing some JSON data. That's pretty much it. It's not the friendliest. It's not even nested. It's just not the friendliest data. It's just a string, like array of strings with no keys. So, yeah.
It is pretty weird right now because we're like moving towards more of that unstructured, like labs culture, which is kind of cool, but also, again, kind of a little nerve-wracking because you're like out of the nest and like doing your thing. But I think we've been doing a really good job as a group of like trying to like plan activities and stuff like that so that we can kind of stay together.
Feel like a team?
Yeah, still feel like a team. Yeah, we thought going into group projects like, oh man, group work, and now that we're out of them, we're like, wait, I miss my group. And like, one of the biggest things I realized working on my own is it's really easy to get down like a train of thought and there's nobody there to like say, hey, maybe this idea might be better, or like pull you out of it. You kind of have to do that for yourself. So that's been an adjustment.
I came back on Tuesday.
So you're starting on capstones then now?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so I spent the first couple days trying to catch up with the lectures from last week. Still processing all that. And yeah, getting started on my project. I feel like my idea is really cool and I feel like it's useful. I don't remember how to code at all. So I'm trying to remember how to do anything. Yeah.
Hop back in.
Yeah.
Capstone is off to a good start. I was out for 2 days earlier this week, which was a bummer, partly because I was sick. So I got kind of a late start, but I feel like I'm catching up. It's a little overwhelming. I didn't want to work in groups before we started working in groups, and now I miss being in a group so much. It's really weird not having anyone to like bounce ideas off of.
There's a lot of material that I have to self-teach myself. So I got into closures, generics, type aliases, in-outs, escaping methods. There's like a bunch of stuff that I had to go and like figure out. And on top of, I built like a network layer so I could handle my API calls very easily. And that's just, yeah, it's a lot of learning. It's a lot of material flooding in my brain. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's just like, there are some times where I get blocked and I'm like, oh man, why did I choose this?
Yeah, so I did sprint planning like we did for all our other projects. And with the help of my mentor, that's changed a good amount because I'm tackling something that is really new for me. So he's helped me break it down into even smaller pieces to get to where I want to be.
Capstone project is going all right, I think. It's hard. I don't know. It's hard to know when you've never done something like this before and finding out how much time 4 weeks is. Like I don't really know how to quantify that time. But I think my strategy was like to break it up into phases. So if I get phase 1 done, or like minimum viable product, then I'll be at least have something to show. And my goal was just to get that done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And then move on to like phase 2. And phase 1 was mostly built with things that I kind of know. So I'm to the point where I've done pretty much the extent of the things I know, and now I have to like finish the project how I want it to be, I have to do some stuff I don't know.
I haven't touched it yet for my capstone. I was literally like 20 minutes ago just starting to read into the YouTube API, which is what I plan on using in my project. But yeah, hopefully not too scary. I don't know, I just like literally touched the surface reading into documentation.
Learning how to request from an API and parse the data hasn't been too terrible. Writing my own has been a little bit of a learning curve, just like figuring out how to write JSON data. So that's, I think, been the biggest curve with APIs, but like making the call and stuff like that, I think I got that down pretty good so far.
Yeah. Have you done work with APIs yet?
No.
Because was that like part of last week?
Yeah, yeah. So that's like the slides and whatnot that I was going over at the beginning of the week, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out.
APIs are hard.
Yeah, it's confusing. The like percent sign is thrown in there, then I'm like, all right, what is this? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Confused and unhappy. I haven't actually gotten to that part of my capstone yet though, like it's coming really soon, but since I got a later start, I'm not even worrying about it yet.
Some people have some crazy APIs. Some people have some really easy APIs. But for me, I'm not too intimidated by parsing the data. You just have to be really, really attentive to it to make sure you have all the characters the right way, and that you know that if you're decoding a string or an integer or an array of something or a dictionary of something or an array of dictionaries or something like that. So you just have to pay attention to your JSON a little bit. But for me, I had to deal with static JSON because my API went down and they were going through like a little maintenance phase, and they were switching servers, and I had to deal with, I think, over 800 JSON objects that I had to run through and just find what I needed. It's just a lot of data to deal with.
I think APIs designed well can work very well. APIs on which the data is not structured well, kind of a pain.
At first they were a little rough, but now I feel like I can do anything. Like I'm super powerful. I can actually get stuff from the internet and do something with it. So it's really cool.
APIs are mysterious. One thing is people just start talking about them and then don't explain what it stands for or what they design your own, or you can like use one, and those are very separate in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
As for like using one, they differ so wildly that like I'm having an okay experience with it, but I know other people are having a really tough experience with it, because basically what you get is what the API provides you, and then you have to work with that no matter what.
I don't know, it's definitely weird being on my own, like going from like group projects to just being thrown out into the wild. Because I'm having to like really focus my time and be like, I have to, I don't know, I guess, figure out all this work without like bouncing ideas off of someone or, but we do have like mentors and stuff now, so I just talked to one of my mentors and got a chance to do that a little bit anyways, but yeah.
Hey, Leanne, tell me about your mentor.
My capstone mentor is Stu. Stu's amazing. We just met for the first time, and I got a lot of questions answered and a lot of new things to think about and new approaches to try for my app.
I'm mostly excited about like completing what I like to me kind of like closer to what I would think of as a real application, and yeah, just hoping I can get everything straightened out. I'm having a problem with yeah.
How has this project informed your interests moving forward?
So funny you should ask. Well, I just think I picked a project that was very interesting to me. Or like I kind of created this project that was very interesting to me in the first place, that I'd be excited to work on it. And like from there, I've gotten excited about all the possibilities working in this like particular area, which is like using maps and data to like basically visualizing data on maps and like figuring out the best ways to portray data to people. It's like both I'm finding like very sociological and deals with people and like things about people, and is also like visually focused with maps and geographic elements. And those two things together are really interesting to me. And so to see that like I can do those things with code as well is really cool.
Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm not gonna die.
We don't know yet.
I hope